Insurance companies are taking driver health a lot more seriously today. And if you look at driver health data, some of the stats are overwhelming. 86% of U.S. truck drivers are considered obese, while people in the trucking industry die younger on average than in any other industry. So what constitutes a safe driver today? Editorial director Lou Smirlis spoke to a panel of experts in the trucking industry on how carriers and drivers can take steps toward better health. John Oldfield of Dalton Timmis Insurance said the insurance industry is looking at different factors in rating truck fleets, and one of these is very much driver wellness and health.
A healthy driver will be a safer driver, and a safer driver will reduce your costs. That's my infomercial for this morning. There is a message, and it really is about the driver. We've tended to have lost the message in insurance that we look at safe trucks and driving records and everything else, but we forget two things. All we're doing is moving a load, and the only variable is the driver.
But what happens when a driver is exposed to 4 risk factors at once, such as stress, being overweight, living a sedentary lifestyle, and aging?
So if you ask the average person, why are truck drivers overweight? Most people are going to say, oh, they eat too much and they're lazy. But that's not true. It's actually biochemical and hormonal changes as a result of their occupation that they're not even aware of.
Are we now in an age where trucking companies should be getting involved in their drivers' weight issues, whatever the cause?
In my opinion, it's the right thing to do. We just heard that trucking is a health-adverse profession. We're having shortened life, we're having health challenges, but at the same time we care about our drivers, we care about our team members. So we have to be involved, we have to provide programs for them to become healthier. The other issue is that young people aren't entering the truck driving profession. Mm-hmm. So we have to provide programs that allow the drivers that are currently in the trade to stay there as long as they'd like to. Mm-hmm. And thirdly, and in my opinion, less importantly, but there is an ROI on health and wellness. The World Health Organization did a study, and it's about a 581% return on investment for health and wellness. So those are my opinions.
The ROI of better driver health already has buy-in from drivers at Brian Kurtz Trucking.
I ran through all those same questions in my head when I stood in front of my employees at a driver's meeting a year and a half ago and mentioned the TCA weight loss program that we started with, and I wasn't sure how it was going to be received, but I thought, you know what, it's people's thought processes are changing, and the younger people today think differently than the older people, and I thought I'll throw it out there. The worst they can do is blew me off stage, and so I threw out the weight loss idea, and 100 guys sitting on the floor and 20 plus put their hands up right away, instantly, like guys that I didn't expect. We have a few 400-pound guys that their arms immediately went up. We had a couple of 180-pound guys whose hands went up. Mm-hmm. And it was, whether it was the way it was presented or not, they know that we care, and it was overwhelming, the response.
What can be done to address the issue of driver health? Is mindset the biggest obstacle? And is it just too difficult to eat healthily on the road?
I think so. Any article that you look that talks about this issue, within the first paragraph, that's what it says. For truck drivers, it's hard to eat healthy on the road. There aren't healthy options. There's no time to exercise. That's how every article starts, and so that's the common perception. But what I find fascinating, what I've learned since we implemented our driver health and fitness program at Prime, it's a year old. It's a 13-week program. What I find is drivers will come in with that perception. After about 6 or 7 weeks in my program, they'll go home, and then they'll call me up and they'll say, Sip, I can't wait to get back on the truck because I went home, I didn't work out, I didn't eat, and I gained weight. Mm-hmm. So now their perception is they're losing weight while they're driving. They're on their routine when they're in the truck because they have the opportunity to focus on themselves. And I feel that one of the best things we can do, if we can change the mindset and show them, actually show the data on, it only takes 15 minutes of exercise every day. It's eating the right foods at the right time. It's these small changes. If we can show that it actually works and it's effective, then we won't think it's so hard. Mm-hmm. And then drivers will feel like, hey, I can do this.
Yeah, at IRB, we've taken a kind of a three-pronged approach to our health and wellness initiative. First, we've made the program fairly straightforward and simple for them because, as Sip said, it's hard to integrate some of this into a truck driver's lifestyle. So it's got to be simple and something that they're willing to try. Secondly, we communicate our programs accessibly, constantly, what we're doing and what's available. And thirdly, we try to motivate them to be involved. So whether it's through incentives or providing them with best practices or stories of those success stories.
Watch for further coverage of the next Driving for Profit seminar, scheduled for December 12th.